I see you twinkling in the sky, shimmering in Van Gogh's eye. Sparkling as the starseed you really are, you've come so far. Born onto the facsimile earth, all memories erased. Not one iota of your talents, of the children you once raised. I see you. You never felt accepted. You never felt the same. Your friends and family alien, often seemed insane. They pointed fingers at you. They laughed behind your back. Whilst you were dancing with fairies and angels, you were on a different track. I see you. You felt alone. You did your best. You smiled through all the pain. They beat you and abused you. They knew you'd come to end their reign. As winters came and summers left, the leaves fell over years. The spirit voice inside your soul grew louder through your tears. I see you. They broke you down, they tricked you, they stabbed you through the heart. They feasted on your effervescence, they relished you apart. They stole your youth, they stole your money, convinced you they were right. But every time they ripped you open, closer came their night. I see you. Like the caterpillar at the end of life, entombed inside the cocoon. The hero's journey final act, when all seems certain doom. Those belittled words of faith and belief diminish amidst the noise, yet you hold on, you won't let go. For the battle, you are poised. I see you! Deep, deep down, you hear the cry. In remembrance, you answer, yes. The fight was laid before you. To come is yet the best. Besmirched, belittled, tossed aside, you nearly lost your way. Letting go of all beloveds, you tried your truth to say. I see you. As the veil it dissipated, as all the solids melted, the remnants left fought their way to sovereignty, once doubted. You stood your ground, you found your power, your strength became unbounded. For you are the warrior child of this world, in your brilliance our future founded. I see you. How annoying. Hello, how annoying. Is this microphone working? What's annoying about that? Well, I asked Kieran to stitch that. Do you like the titles in the poem at the start of the show? Tell me in the comments, please. I'm just going to switch microphone. Because, you know, when I do a live, the numbers start small and it takes about 5 minutes for people to start getting in. I just think it's a nice vibe as well. What do you think? Thanks. Can you hear me? I've just switched microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hi, Andrew Mills. Yeah, I was just going to complain about Kieran because he missed the end off that poem, the little bugger. I'm going to have to have a word with him. Thanks, Bernadette Embleton. Nice jumper. Who says nice jumper? Where's that? Oh, Kate is awake. Hello, Kate is awake. I just posted your book. Ola from Spain. MCF. I don't know how you pronounce that. Thanks, D1. Hi, Brian O'Kane. Irishman in Japan. How is Kobe? How is Japan, Brian? don't really think about Japan that often, apart from when I read Benjamin Fulford on a Monday, which I recommend you all do. Birdwatch. I loved it. My morning in the US, tears, it moves me. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. Good. Well, I'm going to keep doing the poems because there's a lot of poems that people don't know that I've written. And oh, Carol Marine Freeston is here. Hello, Carol. Yes, I've still got it. Oh, there was somebody here that said, I'm just looking for the comments. I hope you all watched the video I did with Gloria Masters last night and shared it and liked it, because it's very, very important what Gloria is doing. Please share that. I'm just looking for a comment here. Nice. Yeah. Sorry. It's a bit boring when I'm reading other people's comments, trying to get to it. No, I can't find it. Well, yes, Carol. Yes. How are you? What time is it in Costa Rica? I got your email, and I'll sort that out later. I've been really running around a lot. I've been down to the healing center today. We're having some ventilation put in, then it's going to be cleaned, and then the 2 oxygen tanks go in, and then we should be ready in a couple of weeks. And I'll be asking you guys to share the website with everybody. And I got this in the post today, or yesterday, signed by Ricardo. How amazing is that? Greatness awaits you. It does. Greatness awaits us all. So let's get my guest on. Hello, Thomas. Sidney Bushnell, a.k.a. Numbers, 43, 75, 72, 65, 88. Chop!
Hello, Mr. 141, Mark Atwood. Reincarnation, Quantum Leap, Tom Bushnell, 141. I got a text from Ricky Lambert, former Liverpool, Southampton and England soccer legend. Played in the World Cup in Brazil for England. And he was sending me some stuff on Baron Trump and Ingersoll Lockwood. And he's like, this is what you were saying. So he found it. He's like, got sent it. And then I was doing all the codes on 141, which is Reincarnation, Quantum Leap, Tom Bushnell, Mark Atwood. Yeah. And I thought, actually, you know what? I've not actually worn this since the event in Manchester. So I thought, actually, you know what? I'm going to put it on.
Yeah, well, you don't look dressed without it. It's a bit like this bloody yellow jumper.
I know, you and the golden fleece, the farmers, the Jack Kidd jumper.
Yeah. As you brought that up, I want to share that with people that don't know about this, because during this last 3 years, I looked deeply into the Ingersoll Lockwood thing and the Baron Trump thing. And, you know, even if you Google it, don't moan about me using Google. I think the White Hats are in control of it anyway. Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground.
They're in control of everything.
The prophetic works of Ingersoll Lockwood, the last president for 1900. And his friend, Don, from New York, becomes the last president.
Yeah.
And these books were written in the, what year? The 1890s, I think. And, yeah, 1893, is it? Yeah, there you go.
It's also a thing on Donald Trump himself as well, Mark, because they spell the name different. So Baron Trump, Baron nowadays is with 2 R's, which takes you to 156 in numbers, which comes to 33. Tesla lived on number 33rd floor in the Nikola. I want to say the Nikola Tesla Hotel in the New York hotel.
Which is the first hotel in America I stayed in.
Yeah, I've stayed in that suite. I've stayed in both the actual room because at the time he used to have a bigger apartment, so they've now knocked it. Well, they built it into 2: the studio and the hotel.
I just remember. Do you remember the English New York correspondent that was there for about 50 years?
No,
it was his suite. I can't remember his name. It was his suite that I stayed in.
Okay,
but it was 1987, so it's a bit of a long time ago.
There's a plaque though. It says like one was his room, and the other was his library. But at the time they're all together. But now they've just divided it, so you can stay there. But I was saying, so Baron is just spelled with 1 R. That's correct, isn't it? If you look at the book.
Yeah, I think it is.
So Baron with 1 R comes to 50, which is actually Donald. So Baron Trump is actually Donald Trump in the Ingersoll Lockwood books. So that's another kind of nod that it's all about both of them, you know.
Hi Eric Gabriel. Hi Lisa Cry Freedom. Yeah, I mean, when you look into, if you want I mean, for me, that combined, there was some pictures of your girlfriend, Ivanka Trump.
I was like, which girlfriend? Which one?
Which
oh,
one?
Ivanka, yeah, my top of the tree girl. Yeah, there you go. Although some current ones might be a bit upset about that, but anyway,
yeah. Well, I remember there was these really amazing photographs that were recreating another novel, and it was her in Paris and dressed the same way with the clock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all time travel. 88 miles an hour. It's all time travel.
Well, we did that on the show. So yesterday.
Hi, Willie.
Yesterday, I did a show with Andrew Bridgen, MP here in the UK, who's been fighting. You know, people know who Andrew Bridgen is. Matt Letizia was on the show, and then Tony Stowell, who would have been the fifth member of Take That, but he turned it down, and then Robbie Williams took his place. But at the end of the show,
so he didn't take that.
Exactly, he did not take that. But there was a Take That joke in the show. But I've actually put it up, so I put it on my locals channel, free for everyone to watch. But because locals is still a fairly new platform, people, you know, they create accounts, sign in and watch it. So I've actually taken the plunge, and as soon as you and me finish, it's up on YouTube. It's going out at 4, and I'm going to keep it up there as long as I can. I'm going to monitor it, but I encourage everyone to go and watch it because it's pretty hot potato stuff. So I'm just, you know, I thought, fuck it, I'm going to take the chance.
Yeah. Andrew Bridgen, very interesting. I'd like to speak to him. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. Because it's hard to trust anybody. And we know how slippy the Illuminati cabal are.
The greasy pole.
Yeah. So I found this letter, an open letter from Miri AF, Massive Missives and More, which is very interesting, guys. Go and have a look at it, because I think there's some questions here. I don't know. I think it's... I always get suspect. I'll tell you why. Because I've just seen it all before. You know, I saw the way they covered up Savile. I saw the way the Rolf Harris, Stuart Hall, who else? There was a load of other Ed Stewart. No, not Ed Stewart. David Lee Travis. There was a bunch of them after Savile that had to fall on their sword publicly, because this is part of the way that the propaganda works. And as we know, Rolf Harris was buried 2 weeks ago. No, buried yesterday, but he died 2 weeks ago. No. His death was announced yesterday, but he died 2 weeks ago. How
did you know about him dying 2 weeks ago?
Because when I saw the news pop up, I went and Googled it, and yeah. And,
so the date of his death is 2 weeks ago.
I believe so. Let me just check.
It's Rolf's Cartoon Club. Oh yeah. Dear.
You know what he said when they said, "What date are you going to die, Rolf?" And he said, "You guess what it is yet?" That's a terrible joke. He was a filthy man, and I knew about him way before. There's a true story, is that one of my friends had just bought his wife a Rolf Harris painting and showed it to me, and I went, "I think you need to sell that." And he went, "Why?" I said, "Because it's about to come out that he's a pedo." And he was like, he just laughed at me. I bet he wishes he sold it now.
Should have sold it, yeah.
Hello, Gillian.
Should have sold it. But I was saying about the bit with Letizia at the end of that show.
Tom, this is all connected. This is all connected to Philip Schofield.
Yeah, coming out of the broom cupboard.
Well, okay, so let's just chat. If you don't mind, I just want to chat about this for a little bit.
Yeah,
I know there's numbers to do with Rolf Harris. I said that with the show with Gloria last night, but
I was just going to mention Matt brought up time travel, and then he said a phrase. He said keep cash alive or something. Anyway, it came out to 125 time travel. Anyway, we're on this now. Yeah, go on.
Well, the Schofield stuff's interesting. I'm going on Sean Atwood's show tonight to talk about Schofield, which is interesting because because
you should connect me to Sean. I'd like to do.
I will.
Sean, yeah.
On one hand, let's just make some assumptions. If we assume the bad guys are in control, they're not, but let's just assume that. Yeah. Then what's going on with Schofield right now is exactly what McAlpine wrote in a book. Do you remember McAlpine when he was outed as a pedo?
No.
Lord McAlpine. He was in Thatcher's cabinet, that pedivore cabinet of hers, that Edwina Currie wrote so gleefully about, and she actually mentioned them as pedivores in her books.
Really?
Yeah, openly. And the same Edwina Currie that said that unvaccinated people should be shot or something. She's a particularly nasty piece of work.
The same
But
one that Roger John Major.
John Major. Oh, Edwina. Oh, yes. Edwina.
Spitting
Edwina.
image. Edwina's curry.
I mean, how embarrassing having John Major as the leader of anything, let alone the fucking country. Oh, I shall remain the same pug ugly I always have been. Yes, you will. With my fist in your face. So what was I saying? So yeah, so Lord McAlpine was outed as a pedo, and then he threatened to sue everybody on the internet, and everybody on the internet started carrying on calling him. Nobody got contacted, and then he died like a few weeks later. Very similar to Leon Britton, who was the I think he was the Chancellor or the Home Secretary or the Foreign Secretary. But Leon Britton was well known to have been caught on snuff movies, on videos that were captured. So, you know, these guys are filthy. And McAlpine wrote a book, and I don't know if it's still, you could still buy it, but it was basically a handbook on how to deal with PR when you're getting bad press. Right. And it's a playbook because they have to hide everything in plain sight. Okay. So he published this book, but he followed it to the letter. That's exactly what we're seeing with Schofield right now, because I think if you watch Eamon Holmes or GB News and stuff like that at the moment, they're all alluding to it, especially Eamon Holmes. He's saying, well, we all know the elephant in the room, don't we, about Schofield. So if you assume the bad guys are in control, then he's going through playbook stuff in order to, you know, the same as Prince Andrew did. They all do the same. It's the same thing, same playbook. But if you assume the good guys are in control, then is this a big awakening again for the British public? Even though they've had Savile, best friend with the current king, Sausage Fingers. They've had Prince Andrew, best friend with Jeffrey Epstein. They've had Rolf Harris. They've had all of these TV people, right? They still haven't woken up. They still wave their flags and cheer on the royal family and watch the TV. And you know, and I discussed this with a show I did with Gloria Masters last night. I worked at ITV briefly. I had a few shows that I made there, and I did say last night that I remember 30 years ago one of the producers telling me that this producer, this big producer at Granada, had got married, even though everybody knew he was a pedo, because he wanted to grow his own victims, is what I was told.
Cool.
Yeah, and I was like, what did you just say? This is one of the reasons why I got out of all of that, because it was just infested with darkness. So, what do you think?
Wow,
Schofield, what's going on?
I think, I mean,
just for those people who are not English, don't know who Philip Schofield is, I'll just pull it up for you.
I just get it from the papers. I don't see all the news stuff on the telly or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting what you say about Eamon Holmes. I think Eamon's all right, actually.
Yeah, I think he. I mean, he gave David Icke a lot of time a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I've met Eamon a few times, and he gave me time. He was all right. I've met Eamon. Yeah, so he must.
But it's also a massive distraction. I mean, the whole of the UK is talking about it.
Yeah.
So it is a distraction.
What do you think it's distracting from?
Well, there's the big question.
Yeah, what is it?
It's distracting from people going to your live show in Bournemouth. What a segue.
It is. That's a great segue. Go on, carry on down that road. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom's doing a live show in Bournemouth on
Monday, 29th, Bank Holiday Monday, which is actually, it's 29th of May, which is JFK's birthday. He would be 106 years old, or is. And I've had a few ships out at night going, basically heading in the direction of where the event's going to be. And I think the White Hats wanted us to do it, so I did it. 106 is Manchester red pilling. And we've got Ricky Lambert, I mentioned him. So Ricky is a brilliant guy. He's fully awake. He's really good friends with Matt Letitia. And Ricky is brilliant. He's going to be there live on stage with me. Played for England in the World Cup in Brazil. Scored against Scotland in the derby. Played for Liverpool. Southampton legend. So people around on the South Coast, Saints fans, come and meet Ricky. Come and see him. He's brilliant. We've got Ian Welsh. So Mr. Rods, he's coming. We've got Lara G. Laura G, I should say, and we did a surrogation piece just last week, which is into Site K, because you and me are going to do a Site K course soon. But Laura's got some good techniques, and I did it. Surrogation basically is a method you can use to go into. You can use the higher consciousness and get permission to go into surrogation with everyone participating. And we've had comments on the chats afterwards. People said they felt better after doing that. But then the next day, the headlines of the paper came to surrogation. I was like, okay, thank you, I got that. So she's coming, and then we've got a satellite broadcast with 107, Janine Morageau, Tara by Janine, and Scott McKay. So we've got a bumper lineup. It's a brilliant venue, and I think it's going to be good weather. So unofficially, we might do something on the beach afterwards. We'll see how it goes. But it's from 12 till 5, and it's fantastic. It's going to be brilliant. So I want to say we'll get, but you're busy, because the thing is, I know you've got your commitments, but I was going to say, we'll get Mark on, but Mark, you need to be there in person. But we'll do it in the future. So yeah.
Well, you know, I'd love to come, but it's like,
I know you've got so much on. You've got a man with 5 kids.
It's like 4 days out, and I've got this sort of bank account of time with my kids, and I'm already drawing upon it heavily.
Well, that's why I was going to say, we'll get you into a satellite, but I was like, but that would take from your time with your kids anyway. So,
well, no, I mean,
we're full. We've got
people don't need people. Look, I think it's great that you're doing a live show and do it without me, because you just done 2 with me, and we did the bit
exactly.
in America. It's good. It's good. I mean, the more people get together, the better.
Is the link below, Mark, or we'll put that up?
The link's below, and the link's on screen.
Perfect. Awesome.
I made a nice little trackable link for you, because your one was like this.
Thank you.
Your link reminded me of that Dave Spikey joke.
What's that?
With the
super long.
With the person with the 4 Cortina with the number plate P64262569 XP74. Please go and move your car from the car park, because it's blocking the other cars. Something like that.
There you go. Oh, talking about car park. So the venue is Central Bournemouth. When you get your ticket, you get a screenshot of the address and everything. If anyone's got any problem with it, just send me a message. But everyone knows where it is. So, and if you are driving, it's kind of a first come serve on a car park space. So I'm not responsible for the car park, but people attending can if you get there early enough. So,
yeah, well, no, Bournemouth's a lovely place as well.
Beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's the French Riviera. It's the Golden Sands. It's the
Golden Gate.
Golden Gate. Yeah, it's wonderful. And it even adds up to my birthday. So my birthday is 15th of February. So that's 152. 152 comes to Bournemouth. So it's like, okay, very good. And like I said, I've had the 2 ships. I've had this steady aircraft. Not a plane, though. A ship. You know all about this. You're the one that taught. Well, I was getting it, but you taught me how to bring them in. And I've seen it steadily 2 nights. Sorry, the weekend and a few days after I announced the show. And it's got this gravitas. It just moves slowly along the coastline of the beach. And planes don't fly in that direction. And I've taken pictures. And people have said they've even zoomed in and thought maybe it looks like a Merkaba. But something is afoot. And the ships have been confirming.
Well, you know, Did you see the video I put up the other week? I saw 31 in 25 minutes. 31 ships. Did you see that video?
No, I didn't. I saw the one. I saw another one you did where you showed a ship jumping across the sky. But I didn't see the one of 31. Send it to. I'll have a look.
No, I'm gonna play it now for everyone who's not watched it, because it's
okay.
It didn't get massive views, and you know, it's a typical late night UFO video. You can't actually see a massive amount, but it's worth playing, because I've like I see them every night, and people were saying, "Sam, do pictures," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to do it because I see them so often."
And the thing is, the pictures, the videos never do it justice, because I mean, my camera, I've been looking at. They're pretty good, but it's nothing like seeing it in the flesh, you know.
No, I've been researching a really good night like binoculars that you can put a phone on and film. But I'm a little bit out of my depth technically. So if anybody watching,
are they made by Bushnell that make the binoculars and the sight finders?
I don't know. I'll have to come back to that. Just have a look at this for a sec. No, it's me. See the way that it was.
Mate, there's another one.
doing
There's
that.
another one going this way. Underneath, it's going across the sky that way, and it's really, really small, but it's fucking decent long too. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Look at that one go! Beauty. Hello,
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I do get a bit
There's
excited
another
about
one this way, Mark. It's only
Oh,
tiny.
look at this. It's gorgeous.
Well, it's super exciting when it happens.
How is that?
Well, you know, and that, by the way, that sound effect of everybody that was recorded live, and that was the CE5 Contact app, which if you go to the App Store and type in CE5 Contact,
Oh, that's with Stephen Greer, isn't it?
yeah, it's $10, but it's pretty cool, especially for people starting out with it.
What does it do? Does it help notify when they're there? What is it?
Well, it gives you those sounds and tells you where those sounds are from and why they've put them in the app, and it also gives you CE5 Contact. So it's instructions and tools to assist you in making peaceful contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. CE5 just means human-initiated contact with ETs, and experience has shown that ET civilizations respond very favorably towards correctly applied CE5 protocols, from playback of specific tones, followed by entering deep states of consciousness and awareness. I mean, if you guys watching this remember the interview I did with, Katie Rain is one, and the lovely, I need to get it back on. Oh God, I'm forgetting everybody's names. Sorry. Starseed. Oh, she's brilliant. I've forgotten the name. Anyway, states of meditation. For some reason, I've always been able to call them in without the app. But my friends on that video, Julie and Michael,
Yeah.
They had the app, and I've downloaded it since, because
So the app is almost like a kind of bird thing. I can hear the birds here now, but it's like tweeting them in.
Yeah, it's like it just, well, you know, some people say it works really well. Some people say nothing's happened, but you know, you pays your money, you takes your choice. I think it's all to do with your frequency and who you really are. Because one thing I've learned over the last few years is that it's all about all we are is frequency. You know, and my frequency annoys the shit out of some people, and other people love it.
Well, I don't want to say this, Mark, but now you've brought it up. You know?
Well, yeah, and I fully understand that. You know, I've been through all sorts of ups and downs with different people over the years. You know, I actually make some people ill. So, what do you?
Well, now you can bring that up. No, I've been all right.
Hi, Liam Nolan. What do you want me to put up?
You make people ill.
Some people, yeah.
Do you make your alter ego ill sometimes?
I don't know, but I do feel like I'm not here very, you know, and I've had this the last 2 weeks of injuries and weird stuff, and loads of other people have had it as well. I even went for a deep tissue massage on my hip because it was really bad the other day, and I said to the person doing the massage, and she did a phenomenal job. She said, "Why do you think this has happened?" And I didn't know. She said she's a holistic man. I didn't know if she was awake or anything. So I just went. I said, "Well, I kind of sat funny in the cinema, but I actually think it's something to do with ascension." And she didn't kick me out. and I said, a lot of people that I know are having a lot of problems with their joints right now. And she said, "Tell me about it." And I was like, "Oh, that is interesting." I don't know if any of you guys watching have had joint issues in the last few weeks. I know on Telegram a lot of people have said that they have. It's anecdotal. I'm not doing surveys or anything, but
I think there was something. I feel this last week or so has been all right, but I think definitely kind of 2 weeks ago there was something in the ether, and there was a lot of us kind of feeling and getting stuff, and it seems to have passed, thankfully.
Yeah, I think it has, and it was Mercury retrograde as well.
Oh, that bugger! That always gets in the way. Yeah.
But everybody's saying the same thing. I mean, there's a really good channel I like to tune into, which is now I'm going to what's it called? So I've got these great channels. Third Phase of the Moon. I love that one. The Truth Will Set You Free, I think it's called, and that's kind of saying something big is about to happen. It's about to pop. It's about to pop. Everybody's saying the same thing.
Something's coming. I was talking to Martin Geddes couple of days ago, really good. He's coming on my channel on the 7th of June, and I know you know him, but really interesting guy, fascinating. And we were talking about maybe we'll set on the show, but he feels that something's about to pop very soon in the next month.
Well, I'll just leave it at that. Martin's very intuitive.
Yeah,
he is. He's amazing. I spent a nice evening and morning breakfast with him in Buxton in January. And it's great that he's getting out there. I saw that he was on Richard Vobe's show not long ago. Now he's coming on yours, which is great. And
oh yeah, Richard Voge, you mentioned it. I've been seeing his stuff recently. He's an interesting chap.
He is. I did email him and said, "Should we do a show?" And he said, "Yeah." And then we kind of missed each other. I just wanted to kind of thank him really because he's kind of he's acting as a bridge, a bit like Andrew Bridgen.
Yeah, Bridge. Yeah.
By the way, guys, if you ever want to find any of my archives, the Martin Geddes interview that I did is on themarkatwoodshow.com. You just go on episodes, you click on search, and you type in your search term, and then it pulls up the video, which you can go and look if you want to, because that was his first one in about a year. That one, which I was really pleased with. Quite difficult to keep up with Martin. He's a bit of a genius.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, I wasn't even sharing the screen there, was I? Was I?
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
was I? Okay, cool.
I wanted to show this one, Mark. So when I got the first account down the side of the beach, so this came up in the papers the next day. Hang on.
So it's the opposite way. Close Encounters of the Boring Kind. Yeah.
Close Encounters of the Boring Kind. Now, if you zoom in, you'll see that there's a reference to Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgian footballer, but it's got Belgium. Now, going back to my buddy Ricky Lambert, Ricky's been doing his coaching course, and part of that's been in Belgium, soccer coaching. Anyway, this came up, and I showed it to him because we'd just been talking about it, and then I was like, "You're never going to guess. I saw the ships last night. You've been telling me about your stuff in Belgium, and lo and behold, there it is." And he said, "Tom, they're talking to us." It's like they are. If you're frequent, and he knows about frequency. Ricky told me, and it was like I was talking to you or me. He said to me, he said, "I've known for a long, long time that everything in this world is frequency." And I was like, "That's fucking Ricky Lambert telling me that. He knows."
I think a lot of the top athletes understand that because they get some of the best people in to help them with stuff.
True.
I mean, you've worked with football clubs. Dave the Hayuka, he's worked with football clubs.
Yeah.
They will spend a lot of money bringing all the best kind of different types of therapists and people in just to get that edge. And it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't think
Sam Adams,
some of them
like that. He does that. He gets a lot of people in.
Yeah, but some of them are Masonic Satanists as well. So yeah, go figure.
Yeah, it seems like probably quite a few of them have been, or are, or were.
Well, it's the same with showbiz. It's the same with showbiz. You've got Eamon Holmes on one hand, and then you've got Philip Schofield on the other. Yeah. It's looking like he's going to be Jimmy Savile Mark II.
It's kind of, they're brewing it, aren't they? They're brewing that up. That seems like what it's going to be. Yeah.
But what else is going on?
Well, let's see if I can bring this up.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
On your sale, on one of your Telegram posts, you put a picture of you and 107.
Yes.
So 2 questions.
Yeah.
Question. Well, maybe 3. Question number 1. I thought he didn't want anybody seeing his face.
So this is the interesting part of this conundrum. And one, I think, well, you've done it once, so it's okay for me to talk about it. That picture of me and one was at a public event, a Truther event in October of 2021 in Vegas. Jim Caviezel was there, a whole bunch of people were there. And he posed for photos, book signing with everybody. So there's hundreds of those sorts of pictures out there. But then there are other occasions where he doesn't want pictures to be taken.
Well, here's the second question, because that picture of that man is not the same 107 that I met in California. It's definitely not the same guy.
Hello. Well, okay, I'll add this because everyone knows the rumors that we're talking about, and one is part. He kind of creates that as well, but also sometimes it's like very serious to shut it down. Anyway, so yeah, in Anaheim, the man with the beard and the ZZ Top bit, the hat, it was like no cameras. Okay, that was fine. But then in Vegas, it was, and he told me, and I missed the information. So the Vegas event was a big auditorium, but there wasn't that many. There wasn't loads of people there, but it was a good, it was a good size event. And he said, mate, this is going to be a Beatles moment. You want to be on the front row. And I was like, okay. Now, me and Rachel and a few others we'd kind of got this half section where you could sit in the halfway house, but you could put your feet out. So there was just a bit of space. So I'm actually kind of probably, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 rows from the stage, but he's only maybe 20 yards in front of me.
333 viewers.
There you go, 333, yeah.
As you were saying that.
So he's only that, he's not far, and all the girls are like, that's Junior. That's what they're saying. I'm like, no, and I'm like, it is. I'm like, really? Anyway, no word of a lie. After the show, he's mobbed like a rock star. 107 is mobbed like a rock star. Everyone's around him. He's got a big, I think it was a red Corvette out. It is like Elvis is in the building. And he sees me, and I get the biggest kind of gregarious grin and feeling of love and acceptance and appreciation and gratitude from Juan. And he sees me, and I go over and get there's another picture of me and him right to, it's not the one I put up, there's another one. And I get this picture with him. And it was just unbelievable. And I do get that feeling sometimes on the shows I do with Juan. So reading between the lines, people, Juan has talked about shared identity of people like Mark Zuckerberg. And he says there's at least 16 Zuckerbergs out there. And I was like, really? It's not just a cat? It's like, no. And I said, so in that case, does that mean then the good guys are also doing this sometimes? And he just went, yeah. And when you get, yeah, that's a confirmation. I'm like, okay, nothing else to be said. So reading between the lines, people. And then the next day, there was one doing the thing as well, but nowhere near as much mobbing and nowhere as much of excitement. So, reading between the lines.
There's no accidents, right? So
no.
He is, however many people are playing him, he's loose with it 1 minute, tight with it the next. It's like we're just being shown clues. It's like on Twitter has been full today of people saying, has Elon been switched out again because he looks thinner and he sounds a bit different? And then you had Elon at the World Cup in the thing, and you could see his mask line here.
Yeah.
In his t-shirt when he was next to your girlfriend's husband.
That bastard. Sorry.
Ivanka.
I'm just going to find out that he's just been taken care of and no coitus,
Yeah, he's
no
just
coitus. Just a minder, just a protector.
He's just keeping her warm for you. That's all he's doing.
No coitus, no.
I mean, but it's like when I met Donald Trump and Eric the other week, and and we had a chat, and some people said, was it the real one? And I said, well, I honestly don't know. It felt like him, it looked like him, but could I put my hand on heart and say it was him? Because one of the other things is that you get. I was in a state of excitement. When you're in a state of excitement, and I'd had a few drinks because we were waiting all afternoon for him. And, so I asked Janine, she read the cards and said it was him. But I thought, yeah. And I thought, well, who am I to argue with the cards? But how brilliant, because it allows you to do so. It allows you to be in many places at the same time. It allows you to deflect media attention. It allows somebody like the real president, to, kind of go somewhere low key. But this also brings into question the stuff about the security, which I've mentioned on the show with Janine. But this was linking to something you said earlier. But the massive feeling I got is that they know exactly who we are on a consciousness level. I think they have access. Back to the time travel stuff, the technology.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that fight online over things we say and do are really. I don't know what they are, AI controlled, demonically controlled, stuck in 3D, whatever it is. But my sense of everything is that the technology is there to not only they've got access to the Akashic records. They know exactly who we are multidimensionally. They know our full history. They know everything about, and I'm talking about everybody on the planet.
Yeah.
And they know our soul contracts. They know it. They know everything. That's why 17 is so biblical. In my mind, it's consciousness, it's God. It's that's why Q17 says nothing can stop what's coming, because they know what's coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're all being prepared for what's coming, which is why it's taken a long time. And then it's really a test of faith, but it's also a test of endurance. You know, so many people say, "I'm so fed up with this shit show." You know,
Yeah.
So, you know, people like us go and put live shows on and try to entertain people and have fun and get people together. And then we get slagged off for that. Oh, another grifter making money. Fuck off, you know.
Well, don't come, you know.
Don't come, you know, make a choice.
President Trump is an archetype. He's an example of everything. So I remember people said, you said it to me, said, Tommy, you need to probably start to do some monetization. I'm like, yeah. Because I'm thinking the RV is going to happen before lockdown, you know.
The whole first year that I knew you, you didn't make a penny.
I didn't do anything. No.
Right?
And then I should have monetized on YouTube 18 months before I did. And I didn't. And then I was like, actually, okay, probably need to. And then there's a whole ups and downs with that anyway. So it's like, you know, this is a full-time gig. It's always the time, you know, that's what it is. It's a job now, and it's a calling. And it's like, okay. And the people that mind don't matter, and the people that matter don't mind.
Oh, exactly.
It, you know,
but that's why I think, you know, you and I bought Donald Trump's NFTs. Was it just before Christmas?
Yeah.
And everybody was going, "Oh, that's his big announcement. Is it NFTs?" And you said, and I agreed. Well, he's just showing us that crypto is going to be part of the future.
Yeah.
And I think it is. And I did talk about crypto when I started this channel a bit, just to explain it to my mum. Right? Mm-hmm. She didn't understand it, and I was like, because it is important to keep. It's pragmatic to have some knowledge of this and some knowledge of that and some knowledge of that.
Yeah.
It's also pragmatic to have. If you've got any cash, to have a bit of gold, a bit of silver, a bit of crypto, a bit of AMC shares, a bit of something, whatever, you know, just in case. But don't put the whole farm on it. You know, I also bet on Donald Trump winning the election and lost a lot of money. And I still believe we'll all get paid back at some point in the future. But that's
you and Hemington.
That's because Betfair went back on it. And then, you know, I got attacked for that. I never recommended that. I said, do what you want. This is what I'm doing.
That was Hemington. We put an Easter egg of Hemington. Hemington did that as well, didn't he? And a few others.
Yeah, I mean, I put a big chunk on, you know, but
Ivan Cow Hemington. Talking of crypto, so the word crypto comes to 97, which comes to Kennedy's, and then currency comes to 107, which comes to Trump's. So cryptocurrency is Kennedy's plus Trump's, and also a non-fungible token, which is an NFT. A non-fungible token comes to 185, which comes to Donald John Trump, which comes to the Silver Reset, which comes to Book of Revelation. But even you could do a non-fungible token, because a non-fungible token is the same as anon. So it's like a non-fungible token, a non-fungible token. They're all 185, which is Donald John Trump. The other thing about this, and I'm hoping it's this year, but I don't know. So we're in the year of 2023. Juan has always said the things that affect the world happen on a 23. I think it might still be the leap year of 2024, because President Trump said the final battle was then. But if you do 223, because you drop the zero, you don't always have to, but in this case you can. That comes to global currency reset, which is 223. And that also comes to gold, silver reset, which is 223 as well.
Well, this is why I've got a show on the channel talking about gold that I've done that maybe twice in 3 years, but I think it's still worth talking about. So I've got a show out tomorrow about that. As you talked about the Kennedys, then it reminded me of something that I want to remind everybody of, including you, that makes me, you know, just convinces me that maybe things are coming to a head fairly soon. And that was JFK's grandchildren singing Timber. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
let's have a reminder of that.
I'm yelling timber, you better move, you better dance.
Let's make it night. I won't remember, I'll be the one. You won't forget. Ooh.
Timber, ooh, timber, ooh.
I mean, talk about coded messages.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, everybody watching, that George Bush's code name was Timberwolf.
Timberwolf.
Yeah. Like.
I've got a thing about that. So Minneapolis, St. Paul's, Minneapolis. So I went there on a stopover. Oh, it must have been between 15 and 20 years ago, and it was the weirdest place. It's got this huge. Now the stuff I know now, I'm like, that's just MK Ultra's Central. That is, and the Timberwolves play out of Minnesota, Minneapolis. But that place is weird.
How are you? How are you for time, by the way?
I'm all right. I've got another. I'm okay. Another 15 minutes.
Oh right, okay. Because
I'm all right. I missed
it.
something. No, I missed it. So it's actually, it's the gold silver reset is 223, which is 2023, and it's also military tribunals. So we'll see. You know, Derek's been saying that for this summer. We'll see. I wanted to bring. So talking of Kennedys, I want to bring this up. So I need to do a show on this, but I think Robert Kennedy Jr., so RFK Jr., who actually got a call from Andrew Bridgen. You'll see that in the show that comes up in just at 4:00 today. I think
he's working with Trump.
Yes,
of course he is. It's all white hat.
Yeah,
and I think it's to bring the Americans, the left and right wings, into the center.
Well, it does, and because what you do is you've got red and blue, and what happens when you merge those two primary colors? What color do you get? Red and blue.
Yellow.
Red and blue.
Green.
Come on, Mark.
I don't remember.
Purple.
It's been 50 years since I've done
red. Yeah. Democrats. Red Republicans, blue Democrats, Trump, Kennedy. You bring them together, and that creates the color purple. And purple is 88, which is Trump.
Which is the color of the ink that Charles should have signed the coronation document in if he was really royalty.
I'm going to put this out on a future show, but I'll just do it now. There is a connection, a direct connection, I think, between RFK Jr. and JFK1.
A direct connection?
Yeah.
When you think he's his son?
I think they may be sometimes one and the same person.
What?
Yeah, because... So I'm going to do a proper show on it. There's loads, and it's all to do with the Chronicles of Narnia as well. So,
hang on. I'm getting a big...
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It is true.
God. Yeah. And I said fracking was a cover for deep underground base clearances because the other day I might be talking complete shit, but it came in.
Yeah. So you're getting it now. So John Fitzgerald Kennedy Sr. comes to 313. Robert Francis Kennedy Jr. comes to 313. So they're one and the same. And 313 comes to President Trump's painting, the Doctor Who painting in Mar-a-Lago.
We're both 141. Does that mean we're the same person?
Well, I think we're fractally connected somehow, yeah.
I'm just better looking.
You can say that one. I don't mind. We'll let the public opinion say that one. You're a very gorgeous man, actually, Mark. When you take your glasses off and you take the mask off, because your glasses is your mask, you've got the most extraterrestrial humanic eyes. You've got light pouring out of them.
Well, it's funny because on Telegram the other day, somebody laid into you about being a grifter. So I laid into her saying, hang on a fucking minute. What are you talking about? And then she laid back into me and she said, oh, you got all these women after you. You're not exactly Prince Charming, are you? And blah, blah, blah. And sorry I triggered you. And I was like, because sometimes with this job, you ignore most of it.
It's all just designed to distract you. Well,
it does, because I'm really sensitive. So I get distracted by it. But
do not poke Mark. Do not poke the bear. Leave him alone.
No, you don't make me angry. You wouldn't like that.
No, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
No,
going back to the painting, the Mar-a-Lago painting, I took a picture of. Did a little video clip. So it's the Visionary, which is 165, which is Resurrection, which is also Christ's bloodline, and then it's got 148 because it's Donald J. Trump below. But that comes to the Visionary, Donald J. Trump, 148, time traveler, the American way, simple gematria. But you add it all together, comes to 313, which is John Fitzgerald Kennedy Sr., which is also Robert Francis Kennedy Jr. And
Let's
then Q says, you're going to be surprised you're going to be shocked once you know who you've been talking to. I think there's layers upon layers upon layers of that. I think we've been talking to, I'm sure Diana's, well, we've been talking to Q, but JFK, but also I think we've probably been talking to ourselves. I think that's,
I think we are talking to ourselves. Looking
Yeah.
at the size of this audience, we're definitely talking to ourselves. This is just a reminder. This is just to remind everybody of the.
There it is.
The visionary picture. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And when you showed me the picture of this, when I was steaming jealous that you were in Mar-a-Lago, I said to
Mate,
you,
you got close to last week. You've got a lot closer to than I have now.
Yeah, but I said to you that looks like the Fifth Doctor's outfit. You know,
Yeah.
Doctor Who,
Peter Davison,
time traveler. You know.
Yeah.
Who knows in this crazy, funky, inverted, weird, fucking world that we live in.
And this is the other thing as well. So I'm going to do the numbers on a proper show on it. But the magician's nephew. So the magician's nephew.
What?
Oh.
So? Oh yeah, right. I'm gonna have to go. Sorry,
You got to go.
My kids have just come in. I've got to go and pick my daughter up, and the guy that's just put the ventilation into the new healing center is at the door with the keys. Sorry, guys, gonna have to go. That was really good fun chatting. Sorry, unless you want to carry on without me for 15 minutes.
No, I got to get ready for the other one over on the Tom Number Show on YouTube. You're going to get Andrew Bridgen, Matt Tissier, me, and Tony from Take That.
It's all going mental here. They're ringing me. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Tom. See you later, everybody. Don't forget to get tickets. Go to Tom's event if you can. I'm doing a festival next weekend in England, in Nebworth, by the way.
Next weekend?
I think so. Yeah, that's one of the things I'd pre-organise. I've got to go because they're waiting.
All right,
for
let
me.
me know.
See you later.
See you guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you should
Mark.
come. Right, see you later. I'll ring you.
All right, I will. All right, cheers. Bye. Bye.